Hello, it's so good to see you all. We'll record this so everyone missing can still listen in. I honestly can't believe we have pretty much 1 week till the end of the month, and I want that to be exciting to you guys. They have announced they're doing a $30 off promo for every Total Solution Pack all the way up till the end of June for that spring into summer promotion. That is huge. I have never seen our company do the $30 off ever, that I can remember. And I think it's giving us a chance to really reach back out to people, follow up with people, and just let them know, because it seems like money is one of the most common reasons why people aren't getting started. And now we have this opportunity where they can save 10 more dollars. So I'm super excited about that. And I think that's the biggest news of the week. I have personally gone through today and I followed up with people that showed interest for June, May, and April. Try doing all the months backwards. That is not a good one for the brain at night. So I think it's a great opportunity to send a very simple message to anyone that showed interest. Hey, we have $30 off promo. Is this your time? And see where it goes. And it really just takes that action, which is a small action, and the worst they can say is no. So I hope you guys are taking action and taking advantage of that. Becky has also had great success lately, and I'm super proud of her. And she has almost 2 people, or did this second one sign up for the bike special? 2 people?
Yeah. So I have 2 people. One already signed up as a partner and bought the bundle, the body bike whole package with the weights. And then one just signed up as a partner today, specifically to buy the bike. The caveat is you have to wait 48 hours for the promo to work after becoming a partner. But we already got her set up. So that's 2 bike sales this month, which is so exciting.
Congrats. And 2 partners.
And 2 partners. Yes.
Yeah.
And I have 9 partners under me total right now, which is amazing. And I have been pushing towards Diamond so hard for so long, and my goal was Diamond by May 11th, which was the cutoff for Summit. I did not get there, but then May 17th, I was like, Abby, I'm hitting Diamond tonight. May 17th was a Wednesday, the 18th was a Thursday. That's when rank happens. I was so close, but one of my partners just didn't have the PV and they were inactive. So that didn't work, but so close to Diamond, and actually giving myself a cushion. Now I was telling Abby I would be like a shaky Diamond because, one person falls off with PV and that's that. But now building up with these extra partners with the bike, that actually is making me feel more comfortable as like once I hit Diamond, which is going to be very soon, it will be more of a solid Diamond instead of a shaky Diamond, which is so exciting. So
Yes, you're doing awesome, and I'm so excited for you. And it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen 100% before the end of this month, which it's awesome. And I think it just shows it is possible if you're taking action, if you're showing up and really putting yourself out there. Like if you haven't checked out Becky's reels and what she's sharing, like she's literally putting it out there that you can join this business. And I personally am setting goals that I need to be more clear in my messaging so people know they can join the business, because a lot of us, we focus on the health and fitness and joining as a customer or a client, but like if we are not inviting to the partner or coaching opportunity, you're not going to get partners or coaches. It's that simple. So she is inspiring me to push myself harder and be more like clear and specific and like push that, because honestly, it is really fun mentoring other people. Even if we don't always know what we're doing, we have each other, we help each other. And it's like, wow, you have the potential to change this person's life, not only physically and mentally, but like financially too. So all the feels. It's so exciting. And I know all you guys can get there as well. So other than that, with big announcements, Summit's coming up next month, which I still can't believe. And if anyone wants to come last minute, let me know. We'll figure it out. And we'd love to see you. And that is all I have. Does anyone have anything else that they want to bring up at this moment? Okay. So we listened to the team call from Slay Squad, and it was all about sustainability, and like I actually liked a lot of like her references where she was like comparing it to other things. I'm like, oh, and like quoting things. I'm like, that is really a good way to look at this business. So I had a few key takeaways that I think will benefit you guys, but I wanted to open the floor and give you guys the opportunity to talk first, so I don't just keep talking. And I'd love to hear if there's like an action you want to take based on her call, or something that you really want to just kind of take in and realize for your business, or anything that can really help us. I'd love to hear your takeaways.
So for me, especially from what I just shared with everything, I really liked how she started it with sort of also celebrating and acknowledging your failures as well, or your losses, in addition to the wins. And that really hit me and resonated very hard, especially when I just shared that I was pushing to diamond. I thought I was going to get it. I got this build up going on. And Abby was even that day, Abby, you were like, I still want to celebrate you. Like, let's celebrate it. And I'm like, no. And I was filled with shame and so much like self regret, and just kind of like all of these feelings that were unpleasant because I didn't officially hit my goal. So like, how dare you celebrate me for doing all the things when I didn't get there? And so that really resonated with me, as well as when you celebrate your goals, like, yes, take a day, celebrate it, but then like get back to work and keep pushing. And so, yeah, that was just a huge like key point that really stood out to me.
I talked yesterday in my story after listening to a little bit of it about how you're not letting life happen for you or to you, but you need to like react. And I like cannot put words. I said it so well put in my story. You have to, whatever's happening to you, it's like how you react to that situation and how you're going to change like your mindset, because that's what perception is not allowing things to happen and you reacting in a terrible way, but like trying to figure it out and act in a better version of yourself. And actually this is like kind of correlated, but kind of not. Today at work, we had to do like role playing with like different scenarios. And I'm like the poly positive in our office, which is funny because I'm not a very positive person. Like all the time, I'm kind of negative. And today, like everybody was like hating on our role playing and how like you're going to take corrective criticism and all of these things. And I said, you know, it takes growth for you to be told, like giving feedback and how you perceive it and how you react to that feedback. And I said, this is a great opportunity for us to grow and be better versions of ourselves. And I like felt weird. That's awesome. No, you cannot have a treat. No lollipops. Go put that in the sink, please. Thank you. And I basically was just saying, like, this is the way that we can be like a best version of ourselves, is how we're reacting to situations rather than like reacting so negatively. We have the opportunity to like flip the script on that. So I love that. And I was like, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, one thing I wrote down that relates to that is it is basically like who you're becoming, not what you're achieving as well. So it's like, yes, things are happening and you're gonna fail. You're not always gonna win. You're gonna have setbacks, but all of those setbacks build knowledge and then position you for the win. So it's like you can either take that setback or failure or whatever and say, oh, this happened for me. Now I'm gonna learn and do better. Or it's like you can take it negatively and be like, oh, I suck and give up or whatever. But I mean, she said it loud and clear. It was like, I quoted this, train the space between your ears. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I love that. So literally everything she was saying is mindset related, which is something that we've been talking about, something we offer, and something so important. So we really control everything, our mindset, which then controls everything else that we're doing.
And we have to like look at failure in a different like light, I think. And how are you going to grow if you're not failing, right? Like, and I don't want like us to fail, but most times we do fail. And I feel like that's where people get discouraged and they just kind of are like, meh. So that kind of goes along with the wake up call from yesterday with Kelsey Smith. And I love her and I love like her message. And that really like hit home with me because basically she's like putting a reset on her business. And she's been like a coach for God years. She's been elite 5 times. Like, and she basically was just like, I'm going back to basics. And Summit, like for her, she's like excited to just kind of revamp herself and light a fire back underneath her. And she talked about just because like the numbers in her business and it looks like her business is going backwards doesn't mean like, yes, that looks like failure, but she's still showing up and she's still doing the things. She's just looking at it differently. And that made me feel better because, you know, some weeks are harder than others, months are harder than others. Becky, you were pushing to hit diamond so hard and you thought you were going to hit it, but you were on track and you were right there. So like, don't get discouraged because those steps aren't making you go backwards. Like you are moving forward and you have that momentum. So I really loved what she had to say. And I was just like, oh, she's just a really good speaker anyways, but it's interesting to hear from a coach like that because most times you don't hear them talk about failure and them failing as a coach or moving backwards in their business. And like, you know, people on her team jumped ship and all this stuff. And she was still showing up and she's in a new season of life and she's shifted her mindset and is using that in her business. So I thought that was very relatable. And, you know, it's nice to see someone else who you think might not be failing is failing and being honest about it.
So for me, basically, I like the part in it that she said your biggest business buzzkill is your mindset. And that hit home for me because last Wednesday, with all like the septic issues we were having last week, we had an emergency septic guy come out and was here last Wednesday. Like nothing could have changed like the events of what happened last week because my dog got spooked. We don't know if it was by the septic truck or the hoses. We don't know what spooked him, but he ended up pulling my mom over in the backyard and dragging her through the backyard. So I ended up having my mom in the emergency room. So my mom now has a broken humerus. And so she can't use her one arm and she has trouble with her other one. So between orthopedic appointments and like I have to help her get a shower and stuff right now until she's able to get her arm like out of the sling to be able to move it when she starts physical therapy. So it's basically been, you know, got to keep positive mindset, which is not easy, but doing the best I can. So I'm like, just gotta show up, gotta show what's helping keep me in that positive mindset. So I was like, there's been like days where I'm like, okay, I've got this and I got that done. And then I'll be like, by the next day, I go to like check it off on my tracker or whatever. And I'm like, I should have just pulled my tracker out and marked it off then because now I feel like I did nothing. I'm like, you know what? No. I'm like, you know, you did it, whether you marked it or not, just start the next day fresh. Make sure you mark it and call it a day. Don't dwell on what you did in the past, because all it's going to do is put you in a negative mindset. So yeah, but I just thought I would share that. So it's definitely been interesting. So I liked how she put that. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'm like, it's not anybody but yourself that is the buzzkill. So yeah.
And I think it's important for all aspects of life. It's like anything that happens, our mindset controls it, like stress with work or home or anything. So I actually truly believe this business is a positive, like everything when it comes to stress. Like I can pour into this business with my workouts and my personal development when life is the hardest. And I think not everyone understands that. They're like, well, I don't have time. And I'm like, it'll help you. So I think you showing up in this tough season, Brittany, is going to be really awesome for people to see. Wow, like even though life is crazy, she's still showing up, and look, it's making her feel better or decreasing her stress or whatever it is. So I would keep sharing. And I like how you said it's okay to show your struggle, but then also showing kind of what's helping. So you're giving them that solution. So hang in there. What did everyone think about the whole, I feel like it's way more in detail, but she was talking about like the 2.0 version of you and how her team's doing this self coaching method. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I took a picture of it, but I feel like she recommended watching a video about it. And I think it's really just mindset coaching in a nutshell. But did anyone have anything with that they're like, oh, that's really cool? I gotta find my picture. Here it is. I took a screenshot and I want to try to find, she said there's like a video that explains it more, but self-coaching model. It was your circumstances, like a neutral fact, which then trigger your thoughts, your feelings, then you take action, and then you have results. So it was kind of like walking through different scenarios. Like if people said no, and you've invited like 100 people, so you have the fact, I invited 100 people and they said no. And then it's like your initial thought, then your feelings, but then what action are you going to take? And then how you're going to achieve the results. And I feel like, did anyone feel like it was like a really cool concept and then she cut it, like didn't explain it very much? And then I was like, wait, I want to know more. Or maybe it was just me because Brady was screaming, but I was like, I need to go figure this out more, because it sounded like something. She's like, our whole team's implementing it and their energy has changed and their mindsets have shifted when negative things happen. I'm like, I didn't do that.
Truthfully, I don't remember here. Like this is all brand. I listened to the whole call fully through, but the way you're describing it, I do not feel like I took that in that way.
It was towards the
Yeah,
end.
I know what you're talking about, Abby.
Can you see that? I
Yeah.
like screenshotted it. 'Cause
Okay, I do now. Is that so? What the image you have up, I absolutely did not take that input the way that you described it. So however she said it, she must have breezed over it, because I was a point where I looked at it. I'm pretty sure now that you say that, I have that same screenshot on my phone. And I think I actually went back twice to listen to it, and still, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, this is so cool. She's gonna go into all this detail. And it was the end. And then I'm like, I better go watch that video. And I think I rewinded it too. But it seems like it's something where it's basically coaching your mindset.
I do. I have the same screenshot. You can't see it, but it's there. So yeah.
You're like, this is important. So I'll see if I can find a video and send it out to you guys, because I think it'd be pretty cool. And a lot of it is stuff that we've talked about before and things we probably know, but I think it's a cool concept and maybe some steps we can walk through in our head as we start getting into that negative thought process and start really like, comparing ourselves or just trying to address our limiting beliefs that we know hold us back. And she talked about the imposter syndrome. And I think there's a lot of things on there that it's like, you catch yourself and you're like, wait, shift, why am I doing this? So I will let you guys know if I find any more on that, because she did mention there being a video. So I just need to look.
Which on that, and I know I have really been a proponent of these mindset master classes that we have access to. Honestly, so I'm part of the book club group that we also have as part of our team. And I'm going to really emphasize that for our book club, for like the personal development, we all do this Calm Your Mind masterclass, and I would highly recommend everyone, especially Tiffany and Abby. I know that you guys are super into mindset with your coach. So I've done every single master. There's 3 right now. So I've done the 2. They're both really good, and they implement nuggets that I use as a therapist that I give my clients. This one that is this month's is the first one that's actually a clinical psychologist. So the others are, of course, like huge people within the profession of positive psychology and mindset. But this one specifically is a psychologist. Kareen asked, how long are they? The question is, how short are they? Truly, it is 2 minutes tops, like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't ever even go to 10-minute long videos. I think so. Actually, I lied. There's the first one is 12 minutes, and then the rest are 8, 10, 3. So how these are set up is at the end of every month, a new mindset masterclass comes out. They dump 1, 2, 3, 5 videos, 5 staple videos. And then after that, there's a Monday quick shift and a Friday think space. And they upload those 4 times a month. So 4 Mondays a month, they upload a new Monday quick shift. And then on the Fridays, they do the think space, and you get a badge for that. And the think spaces are 2 minutes. The quick shifts are 3 minutes. But in these, they're talking about that. And the Calm Your Mind for this month, I only listened to 2 of the videos thus far, but it really is quieting those limiting beliefs, the intrusive thoughts, the anxious feelings that we get. So it really does correlate with everything our team is working on, all of the things. I highly recommend it, just as an additional piece of working through all of these and the negativity biases. Truly, I mean, Kareen says she needs this for her anxiety, and I completely agree. It has helped me so much. And as you know, therapist needs therapists too. And so I appreciate just having these reminders, although it is the tools that I know, just having somebody else tell them to me as well. So highly recommend it, especially when we go on to these shifting our mindset around our businesses, around our limiting beliefs, and the work that we're putting in every day.
Thank you for saying that again, because just like knowing, it's like, oh, mindset masterclass, it's literally 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever. And that is so possible, like in the shower, while you're cooking, and you're driving, while you're working out. So I am officially going to do that one.
Yeah, I do it in the morning when I'm doing my makeup. Like that is when I implement my master classes, because I don't have really 2 minutes even in my day, but I do my workout, I shower, and as I'm putting on my eyeliner and stuff to get out, I have the master class going on, and it's done by the time I brush my hair. It's that quick and effective.
Yeah, they come out every month. They have a new like speaker, and then they keep the old ones in there. So I think you said this is the 3rd or 4th. Well, yes, because they didn't start in January.
Yeah, it's the 3rd one. So the first one was Petra Kohlberg's Happiness Habits, and then there was the Good Life, and then this is Calm Your Mind. And each one also has PDFs and different worksheets to go along with it. Truthfully, I haven't really dove into the worksheets myself, but they are available, and that all is there for you. But yeah, I love it. I'm pushing this even more as another aspect of my business to promote outside of the nutrition and the fitness. There are people in my life that solely need the master class. And actually, so for me and my business, I have my therapy practice website, Believe in Wellness Collective. And then I have my wellness website that is Becky Gaudo Team Phoenix. And I've had them sort of like different, but they integrate together at the same time. But on my Believe in Wellness Collective for my therapy practice, in addition to offering therapy and Reiki, I now have a section that I offer mindset master classes, because that's how much I believe in these. So I have a link to the total solution, but specifically driving people, instead of driving them to the nutrition or the fitness, driving them to the masterclass subscription. So I think it's an amazing opportunity to just promote that as well.
And I think people need that the most, even though they don't know it, they need it the most to be successful in anything, in their relationships, in their job, in their own health and fitness. And it's a little harder to convince people that they need that when they're like, oh, I just need to lose weight and then I'll be happy. But it's like, no, that's not the answer. So hopefully next week when we come back on here, we can all share what we thought of the mindset master classes. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's definitely needed. And do you feel like the book club is helping you to like stay consistent with your books, like your personal development books as well?
I truly believe so. And Celia, you can add to that also, but I have read, or rather listened to, more personal development books since I have committed to that group than I think I have for the last 3 years that I've been a partner with this business. And I'm definitely getting the most out of my Audible subscription. And in addition to keeping accountable, we do share. And so come in and share feedback from the book, share takeaways from the book. So it really is just benefiting having, instead of just like, yes, doing it for you, but there's also this community that you can come back to, which I think is kind of why we're all here, that we have this community to keep us accountable to. But Celia, what is your thoughts on that group?
It's kept me accountable. I haven't finished the Audacity yet, the first one we've done yet, but even before, we be getting each other tags, not tags. Oh my God, I'm so scattered. I'm still working, so I'm kind of in and out. But we would say one of us would finish a chapter or 2 or 3 on our way to work or whatever. I sit here when I'm working and I literally listen to it so I can concentrate. I don't have the hour long rides like Becky does, so like I don't get that benefit, which I wish I did. But that, the accountability, and then just knowing that we're all kind of going through the same thing or have some of the same thoughts, kind of really is helpful. And also just knowing that we're all going through something, but we can all focus on something and we can just come together and like kind of chit chat a little bit throughout the day and have that little bit of time away from what's all the chaos. It brings another element of what this team is actually all about and what we actually are doing here. So I can't say anything more about it. I can't wait for us to finish and start the next one when we need to figure out what we're doing.
Yay. Thank you for sharing. Don't ever wish an hour-long commute on
I did it
yourself
before,
or
so it's
anybody.
okay.
So if anyone's listening and wants to join because of this, just let us know and we can plug you in. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not in the group, but you've made me want to be. I just find that I mean, I could listen to it 100%. I'm not making excuses, but I find that I listen to other things that aren't books because I'm like super like, okay, I started the book. Now I want to like do the whole book. But then if I listen to a podcast and then I listen to this podcast and then I get all confused in my head. But I think I can get over that.
And that's where I was before. So it wasn't that I wasn't doing personal development. I was watching Slay Squad calls. I was listening to podcasts. I was fill in the blank doing other things that also counted for that. And now having this group, I have super focused. And you're right, because reading the book, I'm like, okay, well, I I have to watch the Slay Squad call for these calls. So I allot that time. And then I maybe don't listen to the podcast like I would. But once I finish the book, I power through the book. I listen to it because it's good and I want to. And then I tell the group, okay, I'm going to take a week and listen to some podcasts and do some other things before I reset and dive into the next book. And I like openly share that with them as well, that I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to give myself a break from reading a book. And then, so figuring out what works for me, because I feel the same way. But
That's a good point. Kind of just
So
like,
I just wanted to share some. Oh, sorry, Abby, go ahead.
no, I was just speaking out loud. It's like, okay, podcast, shift. I need to do that. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to share something because I listened to, hang on, let me find it because I just started listening to her today. So Holly Hillier is 7 Strong. So I don't remember if you guys talked about this episode last week on Team Call. If we talked about it, my brain's like, but so it says using time blocking. So it's very interesting the way she said this because I've never heard anybody describe it this way. So I can't even remember like the word she used that she said she doesn't like, but she said like basically having harmony between business and like personal life basically. And and what hit me with it is that she's like, okay, like she goes, if I could have a week be like Sunday to Thursday, she was literally send my kids to school Sunday to Thursday, and then have Friday and Saturday be like the weekends. And she said, she goes, you know, scheduling like my calls, like with clients and stuff, like on Fridays, and then, you know, just kind of like figuring out like what days of the week, like, because she even said, she goes, come Friday, she's like, I don't want to do anything. She goes, I go in and I will look at a message from somebody and be like, I don't want to respond to that. And she goes, but you know, give me a Sunday, Monday. She's like, I'm like, yes, let's do this. She goes, and she even said, she goes, when you're in, you know, that family life mom mode, she goes, you're just exhausted by the end of the week. And she said that what she does is she goes in and her set like meetings or whatnot that she has for her different businesses, that she puts those time blocks in for those days of the week. Then she goes in and the non-negotiables for like family like events for her kids or family events, like different stuff, she puts those in. And then everything else through the week, whatever's open, that's where she works in like her, like basically her, you know, to pour into her business and her business time. And then this way she's like, okay, like I have more time in this area than I do in this area up here. So like if, you know, I run out of time up here, I know I can go back to this or let it pour over. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, and I never thought about it like that. And I'm like, that's exactly like what I need. Because I was always trying to be like, okay, like I had this amount of time where, you know, I was always kind of like basically trying to schedule like business hours first versus trying to do it the other way. And then basically like stressing myself out over it. And I'm like, and my brain just never clicked to switch the script on it. And as she's saying it, I'm going, yeah, I'm like, that makes complete sense. And she said that, you know, she took time away because of having high risk pregnancy. Now she's ready to dig back in. And I'm going, this is, and I'm like, she's speaking like gold to me right now. But I couldn't remember because I remembered that somebody had mentioned her before. And then of course I forgot to go in to the podcast and follow her thing. So I finally did that today because her like name randomly popped into my head. And I'm like, oh, let's just listen to this episode. Click. And I'm like, this is exactly what I needed to hear. So I just thought I would mention.
Go ahead, Becky.
I was just gonna say that, yes, I'm glad you brought that up because I do follow her podcast and we do talk about it. And that's a new episode that I haven't listened to yet. And I saw it pop up today. And like we were just talking about, I currently am listening to something else. And I was like, oh, a podcast. No, I'm over here right now. So I literally had that thought today with that exact episode. So now I definitely need to dive into it.
I wasn't gonna listen to it honestly, but because if podcasts and such are longer than what my drive home is, I will literally click on it, start playing it, and look at the duration of time because I know if by the time I get home it's not done, that I'm gonna forget to go back and finish listening to it the next day and gonna forget everything that I heard already. So I'm like, and I don't have time once I get home here to actually finish listening to it. So I'm like, I try to get ones that are like between 15 to 18 minutes, and this one was 20 minutes. And I'm like, I have to run to the pharmacy drive-through. Do I have enough time to complete this 30 minutes? So, and I did, thank God, but I'm so glad I did. So yes, that's the new one.
I love it. And then Abby, I don't know if now is a good time for me to shift into it and kind of just, I guess, wrap up today's call. But so we were talking about earlier the sort of wins to my business and how I have gotten all of these new partners on my team and sold these bikes and done all these things. And Amy, the podcast that we're talking about now is Holly Hillier's podcast. Brittany brought up the most recent episode. It's called 7 Strong, and it's amazing if you haven't listened to it. But I was really looking, and Abby and I and Tiffany, and I think others, we've talked about how my key to success right now is truly posting ads and using the reels that I am posting and being so incredibly clear that I am inviting to this business opportunity. And I always invite to the business opportunity first, rather than inviting to the challenge group first. And speaking of Holly Hillier, when she did a Slay Squad call that we had watched way back when, she has in these slides I can go back and find because they're still accessible, which I'm so thankful for. But it's one of the calls that we had, and she had scripts in there, and she said, if you are pushing to rank, use this script when you invite. If you are pushing towards an income goal, use this script. And the script that she put and that I use, and I will pull it up, is just when you're having a conversation with somebody, and even if you're having a conversation with them about fitness and workouts and the nutrition products or whatever it is, you're not talking to them about the business opportunity. But when you get their email and you go to send them their share cart saying, hey, I sign all my new customers up as affiliates. The affiliate option saves you 25% on all orders and makes you eligible to earn commissions through the affiliate link if any friends or family want to order. This is a $15.95 a month affiliate fee, similar to Costco or Amazon Prime membership. I'm always looking to save money for products and love helping others do the same. So I send that to literally everybody. And that is how, just from the get-go, even if we're not talking about the business opportunity, I open that window for them. So that's the first piece. Then I was doing these ads and specifically inviting to the business opportunity through saying, this is what I'm offering. I offer this mentorship, this partnership with these specific things. Most of us, if not all of us, I'm really using a lot of the templates from the Elevate Gym, what Abby shares for what we post in the Elevate Gym content each month. There's Instagram promotional ads in there, or promotional content, and I tweak those through Canva and create them to be my own, to be the invite that I am sending out to people. So it's not that I am super creative, that I just use the tools that we have on our team, which I'm incredibly thankful for. Thank you, Abby. So with that, I post ads. That means putting out money. What I started, and I was looking through it with Abby, and Abby, we were talking about this because Tiffany, you had shared that you posted an ad and it kind of flopped. And you're like, it didn't work for me. Well, I looked back, and from the time that I started posting ads to now, I think I had, Abby, what do you say, like 10 like ads that flopped, that had zero engagement, that didn't do well at all, but I kept showing up. I kept tweaking my message. I kept tweaking what things I wanted the algorithm to do, whether it was get more traffic on my page, whether it was messages, fill in the blank. And then finally, I had success. And so I'm not veering off the course of what I have success for. I keep reboosting same ad or similar ads because that's what's working for me. And there was a point in time, even before this, that I was sitting here thinking, am I silly for like shelling out all of this money, investing all of this, when there really is still, yes, there's engagement, there's conversations, but there's little to no return here, at least up until that point. And that's where listening to Holly Hillier's podcast and what she was talking about, and she actually mentioned something about like getting an assistant, hiring someone to do the things for you that you don't enjoy doing about your business, and investing. And she even brought up ads. She brought up getting a social media marketer. So for me, this is me investing in my business. This is me investing and saying I'm going to put this money forwards to help me grow. And truly, in any business whatsoever that you have, even my therapy practice, I put money forwards to get the return, and you hope that that return comes through. This month, for me, with those body bike bundles and all of the bikes, I can say my return came through like threefold. That tonight, after that excitement and after that thrill, I went and posted another ad because that's how excited I am about this, and that's what the return is for me. So all of these tools and tricks, and something that you continue to hear as we listen to these Slay Squad calls, which I'm so thankful for, all of it, is that none of this information is mine. It is from our larger team, from the global network that we have access to. So of course, if anybody wants the scripts, they're not mine, they're Holly Hillier's. If you want the templates, we all have access to them, but I will absolutely help guide, share whatever tools that I have with anybody. But it's just exciting. And I say, listen to Holly Hillier's podcast. One, she's amazing. Abby's been saying that since day one too, and I slept on her for a while. So there is that. And then use the tools that we have, because no one else is going to do it for you. And find ways to invest in your business, whatever that looks like for you. And even if it's painful and you're stretching, trust me, I'm there. And there were months that I was doubting. I'm like, I'm in the negative this month for my personal volume and the ads and things, but this is a long game journey, a long game business, and it's really exciting right now. And there's, again, celebrate the wins, celebrate the failures. The failures are what got me here, bringing the whole call full circle. So I can continue to talk forever, as always. That's why you guys love me, hate me, put up with me, but I will stop now.
And did you all see how her energy just like was everywhere when she started talking about that? And that's the energy we need when we're talking to people. And I know Tiffany's like, I do burpees before, or find that thing that lights you up and gets you excited and remember what that feels like. Remember that feeling and have that when you're doing your business activities, because that makes a huge difference too. And I appreciate you sharing all that, because I think it's uncomfortable to do certain things. And it's like, oh, like, do I really want to like spend this money? But you're not spending money, you're investing into your business. So I put up an ad because Becky was like, oh, I'm doing an ad and it's going great. So I faced my fear and did it. Then I was sitting here talking to someone else that I met at my Brad's conference, so the Mindset conference. And it came up again today, like, maybe you're maxed out, and to see that growth, you need to ask for help. Maybe you need more time and someone helps you around the house, or maybe you find some way that someone can help you with automation or whatever. So it's all scary and maybe uncomfortable, but they're all going to pay off. Like, these people that are sharing these tips are so successful. And it's for a reason, because this has worked for them. And that's why they're sharing it with us, because they want us to be successful too. So it's us needing to take action and just try it. What's the worst that can happen? Like, you lose like $30 because your ad flopped. Or you can gain 5 new partners because your ad didn't flop. So just certain things to think about, but it all starts with taking action. So whatever that looks like based on your goals, start taking action. And it definitely is worth it. Like, this business can change lives. And I know it all starts with your mindset. And I will say, Becky, I saw you posted, like, you changed the month on your like reels. And then I'm guessing that's when you made your ad, because I've heard it in the past and I've never actually utilized it, but they're like, if a reel does well, do it again. So it pops up on people's feed, and maybe you do it monthly, and that takes like no effort if you already have it. So just something to think about as Becky just pulls all these little nuggets back to us to actually do.
Truly, it took me 2 seconds. I actually almost was late to one of my therapy sessions that I had at 7 o'clock tonight, because I was changing the month and finding the music and posting it. And as soon as I like got the narrative and pasted it, I was like, oh, and it's 7 o'clock. I put my phone away right then. But yeah, just the final thing with that is, yes, you're putting out this money, but remember that since this is a business investment, these ads are tax write-offs. And so continue to document. And you, thankfully, with the social media right now, they keep track for you, but document if you're putting this money out, because it will come in a return one way or another. You can get it as a tax deduction, or also have it help your business grow. So it's really just a win-win in my eyes. And yeah, I say go for it.
Final plug before we get off. If you have questions about taxes and what you can write off, just ask. But you will get a 1099 if you make over $600 for the year. And you will want to make sure you're writing down your tax write-offs, or you will get screwed, because our paychecks do not take taxes out. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can basically write off anything related to the business, including if you have an office space, internet,
You
phone
can write
bill.
off half your house, apparently. Somebody did, I think Becky, maybe you told me that. I don't know.
It's not half your house, it's your office
Your
space.
office, whatever. I work in every room, Abby, so it's my whole house.
True, I know. So when I do mine, I do like technically pick a room, but yeah, sometimes I work on the couch. I think it's, but you can write off your phone bill, you can write off like your miles if you travel anywhere and talk about your business, meals, any travel and any food,
Airfare.
airfare if you travel for work. Like we write off, I'm trying to think, like the materials we buy through Mompreneur, that's a write-off. If you give someone $10 off, that's a write-off. If you are buying your products to be proof the product works and to show people like, hey, this is a big part of my business, your own products are a write-off. Your business service fee is a write-off. Basically anything that connects to your business is a write-off. And it's just nice to track it somehow before the tax season comes and you're like, oh, where did I travel? You'll never remember. So good point. Ads count. And with that, does anyone have any other thoughts or questions or anything?
I'll just say that Connor and I did our taxes and I like didn't have time to do all my write-offs. And then he was like, let's just do it. I went to my bank account and I just literally like anything Beachbody I sent to our accountant and it lowered our taxes tremendously. So I will say like, make sure you keep track. And I usually do like really good and do like either keep my receipts or I make an Excel spreadsheet and just share what I'm doing. But like Abby said, everything is basically a write-off, like your workout clothes, everything. So just make sure like when you go to Summit, unfortunately, we can't write the house off because it went through, I think that one is a little shady. I don't think you can write that one off because like all of us paid you. So like you can write it off. We can't because.
You can write off your section that you spent.
Oh, you can. Interesting.
Yeah, like
Okay.
even though you Venmoed it, you still spend it as like your hotel or whatever. Like
Oh,
I
good to
only
know.
write off the part I spent, basically. Like I
I'm about to
don't,
write off those headbands I just ordered
yeah, you should. Yep,
and the t-shirts.
yep. Right
Those are
off.
ordered and on their way, by the way, ladies. I'm excited
they
to
did.
see what they look like.
They're gonna be cute.
And Steven
Ladies
is getting
and Steven, yeah.
my
Where
friend that's the
listening?
doctor that's making them. She's like, one of the t-shirts looks different. I was like, that's a male's t-shirt. She's like, okay. I'm excited.
So he's walking in, he has no idea. So we're gonna get the real-time reaction. So
Steven, we got you a cow headband.
What?
It's like a cow. It's a cow print.
Oh,
You're gonna rock it.
you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
it's not a no.
And we got you a tank top.
Oh, I have enough clothes.
No, this one says fun stuff on it though.
It has cowboy boots on it, right?
Huh?
It has cowboy boots on it. It's a tank top with cowboy boots that says like Summit.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Because we're
Interesting.
gonna sweat our booties off.
It'll
It's
be
hot.
way better than the reels they made you make in Mexico.
Yes.
I hope so.
He's such a good sport. I love him.
He is.
He really
Yeah.
is.
He's like, take me off video.
He just walked away. He's like, I'm gonna go drink some wine now.
Oh, no, it'll be cool. And honestly, if he hates it, as long as he's in the pictures, I don't care if he matches completely. He is so fine.
Yes, he will do it. He's a good sport. I'm surprised his reaction was as good about the headband as it was.
He could like put it around his wrist or something too.
Right, when you said that, I was like, oh, good thought. Like he would do that.
And I have some of these headbands and you can like, instead of this, you can like twist it and have it be normal and put this part on the bottom too.
I love it. I'm excited.
Or he can put it around like this way, like.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Awesome. Well, if anyone changes their mind and wants to come, you can have a cow headband. We will order more. All right. Well, it was great talking to you guys. I hope you are taking something back with you to your business that you can take action on, something that motivates you, some big scary thing that you might do before the end of the month, because it is so worth it. You don't get anywhere if you don't get out of your comfort zone. And that is all. I hope you guys have a really good evening and I'll talk to you tomorrow.